All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is Joe Burgos of the Piel Canela Dance School, and I am super excited because we're taking time off from giving you everything that's happening in the Piel Canela universe, all the news, all the updates, all the events, to really take a moment and focus on our lady styling series that we've been producing for over the last couple of weeks. And we are about to continue by bringing on one of the New York City superstars, universally renowned dancer, instructor, artist, of course, choreographer, Miss Brianna Rios. And she's going to explain to you her inspirations, her background, her history, why what she does, and what to expect from her upcoming workshop this Friday. So again, ladies and men, if you're out there and you want to do embellishments to your dance, if you want to upskill your dance, this is your opportunity to learn from one of the best here in New York City, Miss Brianna Rios. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring her on. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Brianna Rios.
Hello.
Hi there. How you doing?
Felt like a grand entrance. I'm doing great.
Only the best for our guest instructors. Only the best.
How are you?
Good. Expecting our second child now. So as you know, any day now. So if I cut this interview short because I got to run out, I apologize in advance.
Now we know. I'll just see you on Friday. That's it.
Absolutely. So with that said, give us a little bit of background, your name, how long you've been dancing, what teams you've been part of, where do you teach, all the good stuff on you.
Yes. So, as Joe said, my name is Brianna Rios. I've been teaching since I was 14 years old. I've been dancing since I was 5 years old. I've known Joe my whole life, basically. Joe's been in this a really long time, and so have I. So it's actually pretty cool to speak to like the ones who have always been part of the scene for this long. Because when I start shooting out the names of the teams that I've been on, you'll actually know them.
Probably.
Yeah, most of the time I'm like, hey, nobody knows them, so like it's not a big deal anymore. But at least you'll know the name.
Cool.
Yeah, so I started as a kid in a studio called Salsa Groove in Bay Ridge. And then I went to other kids' teams, such as Tropical Image, which is where I ended up seeing you before for the first time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? First show that I knew who Piel Canela was when you changed the skirts.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. She's going back a long time now.
Yep.
Oh
I
my
wasn't
goodness.
kidding.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're not. Yeah. We had this crazy little choreography where the girls would spin out, and as they spun back in, you would see a different color of the
Yep.
skirt that we're wearing.
The
Yeah,
little
very cool.
unravel and then the re-ravel.
That's right. That's right. Cool.
That's the picture of Piel Canela in my head forever.
Oh my goodness. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna go ahead and post that video up. I think in the next week, maybe even tomorrow, because it's Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us now, you're about to embark on a journey with Miss Brianna Rios, who's going to be teaching this Friday, April 28th, between 7 and 8:30 p.m. We're talking about the Lady Styling Series. There it is.
Whoop,
All
whoop.
right. Yeah, we just had Ileana Jimenez do an amazing job this past Friday. And this coming Friday, we have Brianna Rios. And on Friday, May 5th, we have Miss Ana Sofia. But let's continue knowing a little bit more about Miss Brianna Rios.
Yeah,
So,
so
Brianna, yeah, keep going.
no, go for it.
No, please tell me your background.
So I went from the kids teams, and then I went to La Salsa de Hoy, more kids teams, and then kind of graduated to the adult team there, Latin Reflections with Mike Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And from there, went to Balmir Dance Studio in Brooklyn, and then Huracan Dance. So those have been the teams that I've been part of, and now fortunately I have my own team, Somos Candela.
Yay. Cool.
Yes, directed by Charlie and Brianna. So we have like our co-ed teams, and I have my ladies team. So it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, and one of the things that we're planning now that you mentioned Charlie is where we spent we're spending these 3 weeks focusing on the lady series, but in the month of June/July, I'm planning on doing a male series, a men's series of styling
Perfect.
classes too. So now that we're shouting out Charlie, we'll be in contact with Charlie because I would love to have him be part of these workshops and so forth. So
Okay.
tell us a little bit more about Somos Candela. How are they doing? Now, they've performed a few times for us already.
Yes. Thank you for having us. Yeah, so we actually just made, like, under the direction of Charlie and Brianna, they've just made a year together.
Nice.
Like all three teams have made a year, so we're doing well. Couple routines already in. We'll be debuting at the end of May. Some new routines again for all the teams. So
All right.
it's been a fun ride.
That's always exciting, both for the students, for the choreographers, for everyone involved. If you're not part of a team out there, definitely look into these. These are two great teams right here, Piel Canela and Somos Candela, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the focus of the workshop for this Friday. Should we expect arm styling, body movement, body isolations, hair movements, facial expressions? What should we expect of your workshop?
I love to throw it all in there, but
Woo!
my focus is always to start at the root of where all of those embellishments come from. And for me, I always believe that it comes from like the body movement first, right? So as long as your body's coordinated correctly and you know what your center is doing and what the intention behind the movement is, then you can always add whichever kind of arm you want because you know where it's coming from, if that makes sense, right? So, I can tell you put your right arm there, put your left arm there, put it on your head. But if there's never like a why behind it or where it's coming from, then I feel like it's always just like, surface level, literally. And then it doesn't really, sit well for like long-term purposes. So
Mhm.
for me, I want my students to always have long-term success and like be given the tools to then, be able to create their own style per se. So a styling class to me is, yes, it's styling with embellishments of arms and heads and hair and all this stuff, but also it's, the embodiment of like what's actually your style, right? So you'll get a little bit of my style, but I hope to like, teach you the ways of creating your own style because that's how we end up dancing the best that we possibly can, anyways, when we're just being ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we teach is at our school is that you can't be an original if you keep copying everybody else, right? So
Exactly.
the idea is to take classes and be inspired by whoever you're taking classes with to develop yourself. To in the end have your own personality go ahead and emerge through the movement of dance, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole objective. And us as instructors, that we're just basically there as conduits to show you the basic techniques and then let you kind of fly on your own after that in an
Yeah.
effort to see who you are in the world of dance, right? So I'm
Exactly.
happy. I'm happy that you're reinforcing that for those students that don't believe us. All right, there you go. All right, you heard it here. How would you describe your teaching methodology?
I would say a little strict, very fun though.
Cool.
um, I'm just a stickler for knowing like that you are 100% in focused, and that you're understanding the whys behind everything, right? So I love questions. I don't want to give you something and just repeat what I do. I want you to actually, like I said, understand what your body's doing, and then give you the chance to even experiment, right? So I also, when I'm teaching, I give different like modifications, right? Because everyone is also on a different level, but we could all gain something from an open level class, right? So I can give you, let's just use a Susie Q because everybody knows it. I can give you styling for a Susie Q for level 1, 2, and 3, and everyone's gonna learn something from it and be able to take again, oh, I understand this. Let me experiment and try this way because maybe I would look cool that way, in a sense of like that self-confidence, right? So
Mhm.
a lot of times I see dancers dance small, right? Because they don't feel confident doing a move because it looks great on their instructor, but they feel a little awkward or funny or, just not confident with it. So it shows in the dancing and I don't want it to like continue to be like that. So I feel like for being the best dancer that you can be, confidence comes a long way with it. And so, the experimentation of trying what feels good on you, what looks good on you, that all entails the confidence that you need.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I mean, I like what I'm hearing because a lot of students sometimes do not sign up for a workshop because they believe they themselves are too beginner, too much
Yeah, they're
beginner.
intimidated. Yeah.
And I strongly recommend everybody to go to the workshops because even if you learn one or two things, you're still progressing, you're still moving forward.
Hmm.
So can you maybe give advice to those of the beginners that are teeter tottering about, oh, I like to go to the workshop, but then there's going to be all these fantastic dancers there, and I'm not going to be able to keep up or learn anything. It's not worth my money. what would you say? What a piece of advice would you give those people?
The advice that I would say is that everyone is on their own journey, right? So as long as you have a good instructor in front of you, it makes life easier. Um, but even if you, like, I've been to multiple classes, even like as an artist myself, right? I'm still learning. So it depends on the instructor that I go to. I realize how they are, like what their style is, but I also know what kind of student I am. So I take what I like and I kind of just, leave the other stuff behind, or I'm thinking about things in advance or on a deeper level because I know that that's the dancer that I am. So for anybody on their own journey, doesn't matter what level you are, don't be intimidated by the videos that you see on social media, right? That's the main thing, right? We all do a great video, but what does a video actually show you? It just shows you a bunch of moves, right? You have to be in the class for the entire session to really gain all the knowledge that we're speaking about, that we're not able to transmit that on a video in a demo, right?
Right.
That's just not how it is. So don't be intimidated by the demo videos that you see at the end of class when it looks like we're basically putting on a show, right? It's not about that. It's really about what the knowledge is that you're going to gain throughout that session. So I think that everyone has something to learn from the classes. And like I said, it's always an experience. You're going to gain something from everyone. And even if it's not your favorite instructor, now you know for the next time, like, all right, I think I got what I needed from that person. Let me try someone else now and see what else I can get from them. It's just always going to make you a better, well rounded dancer.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we strongly say as well is that you don't have to learn everything that the workshop offered, right?
Exactly.
What Because not everything, a move that looks good on you may not look good on someone else. A move
Yeah.
that looks good on me may not look good on someone else. So the idea is to get inspiration, to get, basic knowledge that you can later implement into your own repertoire to hopefully reflect upon your own movements, right? So again, you don't have to look exactly the way the instructor did. I think that's a common misconception of people that take workshops. They're like, "Oh my God, she did 30 bars of shines, and I couldn't keep up. And if I didn't learn all 30 bars, wasn't worth my time."
Yeah.
And I'm here to back you up in that sense and say, no. If you took away 4 counts, 2 beats, and that changed your entire repertoire of the way you look and the way you feel on a dance floor, then that was worth your time and money. That's where the value of the workshop is. All right, guys. Once again, you are here with the world famous Brianna Rios of Somos Candela, and we've been talking about the Lady Styling series, 3-week series that we've been putting on at Piel Canela Dance School. That's right. Last Friday we had Ileana Jimenez did an amazing job. This coming Friday, April 28th, we have Brianna Rios 7 to 8:30 p.m. Next Friday we finish off with Ana Sofia, who's doing styling more based on bachata music. So this Friday will be about salsa, although styling is kind of universal in that sense, right? So
Totally.
exactly, a lot of the stuff that you can do in salsa, you can easily translate over to bachata. And for those of you that are cha-cha dancers, merengue dancers, guaguancó, son dancers, you still have the same kind of movements that can be inspirational for your dance in those other genres. Brianna, how would you describe your style of dancing?
Good question. My style, I love to say that it's a groovy style, right? So a lot of times when people ask me for styling, I actually have to think about arms way more often. I'm like, oh, how do we incorporate so many arms? Because to me, I actually love to keep it a little bit more simple and keep it more in the body, right? Showing the body movement, just you know, listening to the music more often, letting my body rhythm correlate to what the music is asking for, so on and so forth, right? Like how to become a better social dancer. Um, so normally when I'm thinking about like so many arms and styling and all that stuff, it's mainly choreo based, like choreography based, to kind of embellish a show even more. But when I'm social dancing, it's not really the first thing that I'm thinking about. Like, where can I put an arm here and an arm there and all that stuff, right? Sometimes, we are mainly social dancers, right? So I think that's what's mainly all of our goals as dancers. And later on, it's like, oh, I want to be on a choreography team. But yeah, so as a follow, part of being a good follow is not overdoing the styling, right? Because then that can get in the way sometimes. So it's very much about being expressive in the body. Um, but for these certain occasions of, let's add styling, then I definitely add on that layer. But it always comes from body movement first
Well,
to have the tool.
it sounds groovy to me. Does it sound groovy to you guys? I think so. What about where do you get you mentioned you've been part of teams. You mentioned the social dancing aspect, of course. You're teaching us, and now, of course, you're coming up with choreography for your own team. Where do
Yeah.
you get all your inspiration from? Where do you come up with moves and shines and arm styling and everything that you do?
Well, it's fun to take other classes in other genres. That is for sure. Like I'll always get a new idea from like another style of dance because how many times can we reinvent the wheel for a Suzy Q? And it's not. Everything's been done, right? So yeah, I just try to like, incorporate my brain into like other styles of dance. You know, Instagram now and TikTok, the world is literally at your fingertips and sometimes it's an overload as well. But yeah, the more I watch different styles, the more I'm like, oh, that's cool. How do I incorporate it into like a Latin dance kind of vibe? And at the same time, also just good music. If the music is good, I feel like I'm inspired. Like stuff because I've been dancing for so long with like experience and like I said, it's like, as long as you know where your movements are coming from, you can start experimenting and like I feel like the music calls for certain things and so that's where the inspiration comes from half the time.
So would you say you're trying to personify the music? You're trying to become the music, imitate
Basically,
your body?
yeah. Because I feel like if someone is watching you, right, they're listening to the music, but you're the visual picture of that music. So as much as you can match that music and make it come alive, literally, then whoever's watching you will feel the music even better.
Dropping knowledge bombs, ladies and gentlemen, right here from Brianna Rios. Brianna, what would you like to accomplish by the end of the workshop?
By the end of the workshop, so you kind of touch base on that, right? I'm not a fan of, a whole long combination and having everybody think that the goal is to learn the combination. No, I want you to learn the tools that I'm giving you. I want you to remember the actual lessons, not just an 8 count or a bar or something like that. I want you to remember like, oh yes, because if I move to the right, my body reacts like this. If I move to the left, so on and so forth, right? So those are the key things that I want to achieve with your community, right? To kind of have like a little insight on how I think as an instructor, how I think as a student, and all that stuff, because to me, that helps me along the way, long term, whenever I take anybody's class.
Awesome, awesome. So tell me a little bit more about what inspires you to teach, to perform, even to social dance, or is it the same thing, or is each one a different source of inspiration?
I think it's a little different. I've been asked this question before, like, which one do I prefer, teaching or performing? It's literally 50-50. I don't have a favorite. I absolutely love both. Um, I'm the type of person who gets bored very easily, and the fact that I've been doing this my whole life, without a doubt, like always ready to go for the next thing. It definitely says a lot. You could ask anybody who knows me. Um, so yeah, teaching is just I love community. I love interacting with people one on one. I think that's why I'm a big stickler for like not just teaching a combination and having you regurgitate it. Like I want there to be a conversation where you actually understand what I'm saying and I'm listening to you as well. That's how I feel like teaching is. Um, and then in a sense, performing, I love like the whole glam and glitz of it and feeling like a new person almost. And also, again, having a conversation with the audience. To me, it's a conversation when I'm a performer. So I thoroughly enjoy all of it. And then social dancing to me is just again a conversation with a new person. It's like a test almost. Like how well can we have a conversation right now for the next 2 minutes with this stranger if it's a brand new person, right?
Okay.
So yeah, it's just all like community based.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. What would be the best advice that you can give a dancer taking a workshop or out there?
um to always continue learning, right? I think we've all been in this for a really long time, like Joe and myself. And I'm pretty sure you can ask Joe if he's taken a class lately. He probably like, his ears always open learning new things. And so am I, right? So I love to like dabble in a new class here and there. Just to let my body keep exploring so that it doesn't become stagnant or bored, right? Or plateau. So there's always something new out there. There's always some new inspiration for you to stay excited about it. But yeah, as long as you keep learning, it's always a great time.
Awesome. I'm going to second that because I mean, one of the reasons why Piel Canela offers different styles of dance is to give people an inspiration. You know, for example, we have obviously our bread and butter is salsa, but you know, if you are taking a zouk class, if you are taking a hustle class, if you're taking a hip hop class, a kizomba class, you know, you never know when a move that's in a native to another style of dance can actually be incorporated or give you an inspiration to come up with your own body movement, styling, embellishment to your dance, borrowed from those sources, right? So
Yeah,
that way you can go ahead and enhance your dance. So in that way, I second what you're saying because people should always be on that journey. We always say salsa on two. Everybody seems to always be in a rush to learn, 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 learn. I want to learn as quickly as possible. A million turn patterns and a million shines. And they forget about that. It's about the journey, right? It's not. This is a an extreme hobby that you're never going to end, that never ends, right? It's a
right.
lifestyle at that point. So prepare yourselves, guys, if you're embarking on this journey with us to have a lifetime of learning, because it'll take you a lifetime to learn how to do the basic. So in a million different ways, in your own personal way. what
It's true.
is what is the worst advice you can give a dancer?
The worst advice. I think you just touched up on it right now, to just like think that you're gonna learn everything super fast, try to crash course it. I think that's the worst advice. Just take this crash course and you'll be the best social dancer in a month. Eh, it's very unlikely, right? It's not impossible. Let me not say that. There's some prodigies out there that you could probably do it, but it's also not as fun. You'd probably be bored in a month, right? Once if you learned everything, then what's the point of it now, right?
Hmm.
So I think the worst advice is to think that it's gonna come easy and fast. um there's way more to it, and like you said, the journey is the destination. um so yeah, continue learning and continue taking up as much as you can. We're about to start and Somos Candela, like the basic cycle, which is literally to focus on just body mechanics and the fact that they actually go across the board for all Latin dances, whether it's bachata, merengue, salsa, like whatever the case is, we still have the same body. And in Latin dance, we pretty much move the same way. It just calls for like, which rhythm are you on, right? So,
Hmm.
in that sense, you can learn a little bit the right way, and it'll go a long way. But if you just overload with steps and steps and steps, then there's going to be a lot of hidden layers, those fundamentals that are super crucial for the long term process.
I think as an instructor, I love the question that the new students come and pose, usually early on in the first couple of weeks, and they go ahead and they ask me, "Hey Joe, after how many classes am I going to learn how to dance?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What? You just took your first 1 hour class, and you're already thinking, how many classes to finish this whole thing." So
Yeah.
you're out there and you're dancing, and I have to sit these people down and kind of go through the sharing of this is a lifestyle thing. This is not just a one-time thing. So if you're out there, guys, you got to be patient. The fun is in the journey, right? The
Yes.
fun is in the journey, not in getting to the goal, because there is no finish line. um
And I also think for the dancers who are on the more timid side, they also need to know that the worst advice is to not try. Like that's
right.
another thing. Like I feel like there's two types of people out there: the ones who just are go getters and they just want everything really fast, and the other ones who
Mhm.
are a little bit more laid back and they're like, can I actually do this? Yes, you actually can. It's not that hard. I say that dancing is like walking in the park. We have 2 feet and that's it.
That's right.
um so yeah, you just gotta go out there. Like a lot of times when it becomes beginners who are starting and they're afraid or timid to go to a social dance because it's like, it's the real world.
Yeah. Yeah.
They kind of refrain from that for so long, and they're like, I'm just taking classes. I want to get as good as possible before I go out there. You just have to put yourself out there because it's about the experience that's actually going to teach you. You know, in a class, it's not the actual setting of a social. So you have to be thrown into the fire and then figure it out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, and enjoy it, right? As long as you're
Exactly.
enjoying it, it becomes a fun experience. You're gonna want to challenge yourself even further. Guys, again, you've been listening to Miss Brianna Rios as we continue with our lady styling series, 3-week series. Again, Miss Brianna Rios will be with us on Friday, April 28th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. At the Piel Canela Dance School located at 508th Avenue, 4th floor in New York City, right in the heart of it all, guys, in Manhattan. So if you have a chance, come and join us this Friday. If you'd like to go ahead and sign up for the workshop, all you have to do is go ahead and scan the QR code that's right underneath our faces right here. Okay. And if you miss Miss Iliana Jimenez, it's okay. We're going to hopefully do another lady styling series sometime later in the year and bring back some of these instructors plus other instructors as well. But it's all about Brianna Rios and Somos Candela this coming Friday, April 28th. Sign up for the workshop. And at the same time, maybe you want to sign up for, again, Ana Sofia's workshop, which will be focusing more on the bachata side. Although it's still the same styling at that point. Again, these classes are both not only for the followers, but for the leaders out there. If there are some men out there, women out there, let's not be gender specific, but if you want to join in on the fun and learn from the energetic Brianna Rios, it's all about this Friday, April 28th at 7 p.m. Brianna, let us know about some future projects. What do you share your knowledge with us? What are you working on? You know, the platform is yours.
Well, future projects, we're just focused on our teams right now, right? It's pretty new, so it's taking us on our own little journey, and that's pretty much like the focal point right now. Charlie and I will be working on our next routine shortly, so that'll be coming up as well. But yeah, we're just trying to grow our schedule also because there's only but so many days in a week where we can like try to teach you as much as we want. But right now we have intermediate Tuesdays. We will be having a spinning cycle on Thursdays, and we'll be having that basic cycle that I mentioned, which is talking about the body mechanics that really apply to everything as like a fundamental day on Wednesdays. So if you just stay on the lookout on our social media platforms, we'll be posting those flyers and the details shortly.
Awesome. Brianna, thank you so much for taking the time to introduce yourself to our community and, of course, share your knowledge and wisdom here with the prospective students that I hope will come this Friday, April 28th, between 7 and 8:30 to take your workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I thank you for your time. If you, again, want to sign up for the workshop, all you have to do is go ahead and scan the QR code that appears right in front of your screen. That way, there you go. That way you can go ahead and sign up for it. Space is limited. All right. So we already have about 10,000 people signed up. So if you're 10,001, you're just not going to be able to get in. So make sure that you sign up as quickly as possible so that you can have as much fun as I did simply interviewing Ms. Brianna Rios. Brianna, thank you so very much. And we'll see you at the workshop.
Thank you, everybody. I'll see you there.
All right, guys, that does it for today. Again, feel free to go ahead and sign up. And again, don't forget that by signing up for the workshop, you're actually getting 2 additional perks. You get to get into the practica for free. As you guys know, my theory is if you're taking a class or a workshop, the way of retaining that information is to immediately use it. So that's why we, out of courtesy, have included entry into the practice party, which is right after the workshop, 8:30 to 10:30, as an additional tool for you guys to retain that information. And guess what? After that, you're going to get a second party, which is the after party happening on Friday nights at Club Cache with DJ Coronel and DJ Alejandro. That's it, guys, for today. I will see you at a regularly scheduled live weekly podcast where we discuss everything that's happening in the Piel Canela universe regarding workshops, classes, events. I'll see you soon. See you in class, guys.